A man in a barrel. Imagine a case in a circus. The circus CEO puts children from a certain age in barrels so that they grow up short and in the shape of a barrel, so to speak. Children do not resist, they obey as befits an adult. Adults feed children who grow in barrels and take care of them by saying that it is for their own good. They are told to be healthy, they must grow in barrels, and if you take them out of the barrels, they will get sick and die at a very young age. When children are in pain while they're stuck in the barrels, they are told that this is just a little discomfort that needs to be endured. Because barrels reduce pain, which would be hellish without barrels. This is how children grow up to the age when they are already fully formed and will no longer grow. And only then are they pulled out of the barrels. They are told that from now on they are safe. Now they can go out in the world and do what they are intended for. That is, perform on the stage of the circus, where they entertain the audience. When do they ask the questions such as, why other people are different from them? Or why are they tall? They are told that this is just a different race of people. They have a different life. They have different functions in life. So these people who grew up in barrels work in the circus, marry with their own kind, and their children grow up in barrels too, because their fathers grew up like that, their grandfathers grew up like that, and their ancestors grew up like that, and their descendants should also follow their way of life, because they must honor and follow the traditions of their ancestors. But then one of the children starts to resist. He does not want to live in a barrel while he is growing up. He tries to crack the barrel. Other children follow his example, but they were stopped by adults who told them that if they do not grow in barrels, then later they will not be able to find work in the circus. They will not be able to provide for themselves, and they will simply end up on the street without food or shelter. That it will be very bad for them there. Influenced by adults, most of the children agree to continue to grow in barrels. They do not resist, since believing authoritative people is safer than a rebellious child. They absorb all the lies and do not even imagine that out there could be another form of life. It doesn't even occur to them that they might be living in a lie. It seems to them that their life goes as it should go. In the meantime, the child mentioned above is determined to run away. While he is trying to crack the barrel, he goes through all sorts of tricks. In the end, he succeeds and runs away from the circus. His path is not easy. He wanders the streets for a long time. But it doesn't prevent him from feeling freedom and strength. He meets open-minded people on his way who are eager to help him. Our hero grows like a normal, healthy person. He has a good stature in opposition to his former associates. The boy understands that if someone doesn't grow in barrels, then she won't die. Also, the children who grow up without barrels do not experience hellish pains. So to speak, he is awakening to the fact that his associates are being exploited. Our hero wants to help them so that they become free too. He returns to the circus and, having gathered all the little people, tells them the truth. But people don't believe him. They think that he is lying, that he is not who he claims to be. Although most likely they simply subconsciously do not want to accept the truth. After all, it is easier to accuse a person of dishonesty rather than to realize that they have been living in a lie all this time. Accepting the truth would mean that they did not resist when they were tortured. They didn't have the courage to say no to tyrants of society. Now imagine there is a man among them who also grew up in a barrel. But unlike the rest, he seems confused. He already had a feeling that something was wrong with this world. So he tries to keep his mind open and listens to the hero. He tries to accept the truth, even though it is psychologically difficult. He's trying to figure out, although, of course, this causes great discomfort. Why not? Are you ready to admit that everything that surrounds you is false? If so, how easy is it for you? Okay, for now let's get back to the second hero. While he's trying to figure out what is truth and what is a lie, he's awakening to the real world. Then comes awareness. And so what if he will not grow and remain small? After all, he still has a chance to live a normal life. Moreover, he does not want to participate in this whole game of lies anymore. He doesn't wish that destiny to his children. Now imagine that this is happening now in our world. Indeed, our bodies are not in barrels, but our minds in boxes. No wonder why they say, think outside the box. We tend to think in a certain format which is approved by the authorities and the mighty of this world. Our minds have been restrained in boxes for too long. As a result, if a person does not think in the given formats, people try to put his mind back in the box. If he resists and doesn't want to think in a standard way, then he is attacked by the system, people, culture, the government, and even by their family members. After all, such a person is a threat to society. Therefore, he needs to be disarmed, namely mentally enslaved. This way he would be safe for the environment, so that it would never occur to him to rebel against the system. This is unfortunately how our society works. Therefore, you must weigh all the information and think yourself. Probably you also notice it that something is wrong with this world. Therefore, we don't need to take all the information, including the official media news, at face value. You must be able to think independently. One must have the courage to face all the lies. And it doesn't matter that parents, relatives, friends, colleagues, the society tell you that they are doing things for you for your own good. Only you can know what is good for you. If you like the video, share it and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one. Bye bye.